There's a gleam, man. There's a gleam. Let's get the gleam, all right? Let's go.
The U.S. has become a dumping ground for everybody else's problems. Thank you. It's true. And these are the best and the finest. When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people. But I speak to border guards, and they tell us what we're getting. And it only makes common sense. It only makes common sense. They're sending us not the right people. It's coming from more than Mexico. It's coming from all over South and Latin America, and it's coming probably from the Middle East. But we don't know, because we have protection, and we have no competence. We don't know what's happening. And it's got to stop. And it's got to stop fast.
What did I say? I'm not gloating, but what did I say? Did I not say that we were winning? We rocked them, Bama. We rocked them. Nigga, you see me coming on that plane?
You a question?
What do you have? Go ahead. No, that's enough. Go ahead.
Can I ask? But that wasn't my question.
The problem is you don't write the truth. So, as far as I'm concerned, I want to go to the next
Can I
one.
ask you a question about...
No, not CNN, please. Go ahead.
The White House has not responded to these
I told you. CNN is fake news. Don't talk to me. Go ahead, please.
But he says he was retaliated against, and that's why he was removed from his...
Sure. Yes, I'm sure, bitch. I got the head of the CIA right here. He'll tell you.
Do you have a response to that?
Okay, next question.
Mr. President, I have...
Yes, that means you need to shut up. That's what I do if I had no army. I would shut up. Shut the That's right.
Why you held on to those documents when you knew the federal government was seeking them and then had given you a subpoena to return them?
Are you ready? Are you ready? Can I talk?
Yeah, what's
you
the
mind?
answer?
Do you mind?
I would like for you to answer the question.
Okay, it's very simple to answer.
That's why I asked it.
It's very simple to... You're a nasty person, I'll tell you.
Can you answer why you held on to the documents?
I was negotiating, and we were talking to...
It was $35,000.
$35,000 cash money?
No, I give $35,000 plus one, right?
The one I gave.
No, you gave me six, though, right? That was one. I had one. It was six, and then 35,000 plus one plus six leaves seven. $35,000 and seven, right? Motherfucker, can you buy that?
Let's hear the question from this very low-rated anchor at CB.
Damn, I know I shouldn't have called on this nigga. I shouldn't have called on you because you always trying to distract motherfucker. Fine, I'll answer your stupid-ass question.
I plan to ask President Bukele to help return the man who your administration says was mistakenly deported. The man who was mistakenly deported to El Salvador.
Well, let me
Stop worrying about that. I got that under control.
ask Pam, would you answer that question?
Sure, President. First and foremost, he was illegally in our country.
That means you need to shut up. That's what I do if I had no army. I would shut up. Shut the
So will you return him, President
And
Bukele?
you are doing a great job. Thank you.
you.
Wait a minute. Can you just also respond to that question? Because, it's asked by CNN, and they always ask it with a slant, because they're totally slanted, because they don't know what's happening. That's why nobody's watching them.
We won a case 9-0, and people like CNN are portraying it as a loss, as usual, because they want foreign terrorists in the country who kidnap women and children.
No, shut the
Why don't you just say, isn't it wonderful that we're keeping criminals out of our country? Why can't you just say that? Why do you go over and over, and that's why nobody watches you anymore?
By the way, if you are smart enough, you will know who I am. But you are really not smart enough to know who I am. But soon you're gonna know who I am. Very easy.
Wow, very easy. The entitlement.
No, believe me, I'm much better than that.
Get the fuck out!
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is a special edition of the Cigar Lounge. I am joined here by Red Pill Sleeper Cell. How you doing, my brother?
Fatigued, burnt out, in pain. Life of retail. Mother's Day.
Oh God, tell us.
Today there was like 5 fights.
Only 5?
Yeah.
It's a record low.
And guess who they were perpetrated by?
Let me guess. Canadians.
No.
North Texans.
No.
Irish farmers.
Nope.
Oh God. No, don't tell me. Do not tell me German grandmothers.
No.
Oh, okay. Romanian witch doctors.
I wish.
Oh, yeah.
They were done by simp-ass males because they couldn't wait in line to get flowers done because they were hoping to get laid.
By their mamas?
No, they baby mama.
Oh, you mean the mama that they can sleep with?
Yeah.
Okay. You just watching my little brother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna babysit this motherfucker while I eat his snack packs.
Right.
What's up, Carlton? How you doing, brother?
Oh yeah. Hey, what's going on, Carlton? Thanks for joining us here tonight. Oh, so how bad was the cleanup on aisle 5?
I just got home. I was,
yeah, it was late for you.
Yeah, I was. When you hit me up to come up, I was 10 minutes away from home. Just finished putting some grub in my stomach. What's up? What's up, Detroit 313?
Yeah, what's up, bro?
I was on the phone with AB earlier. He heard some of the shenanigans.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. It's just I am just done with all these fucking holidays. Because honestly, I mean, we're always closed on Easter, but these holidays bring out the worst of everybody. What's up, Adric? How you doing, bruh?
Oh damn. What's up, Detroit? What did you say? YouTube is on some BS? Yeah, what's up, Audrey?
I mean, it's Mother's Day.
Electrician, damn, everybody up.
What's up, electrician?
Everybody up on a Sunday night.
Well, I hope your Mother's Day was very well. Those who mothers are not here, I feel the pain. My mother's been dead since 2009, so I'm not a holiday person, but Mom is a special person that we hold dearly. But I'm just sick and tired of these fucking holidays. No matter what holiday it is, it just brings out the worst of everyone. And Valentine's Day is even worse. That's the national I hope I could get some pussy night day. So get laid.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
You need at least 3 people working the flower section.
Actually, in my Florida apartment, I had in the morning, it was like 10 people.
Damn.
Because like we blew up like.
Oh yeah, that's right. You got a big that store is big.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
We had oh God, like hundreds and hundreds of balloons.
Uh-huh.
Stuffed animals, they got to set up all the flowers and stuff.
Whew.
It was so bad they were bringing flowers from other stores to our store. and God bless her heart. Unfortunately, I only had 2 people during the evening shift because most of them had to set up the department. They came in 5 in the fucking morning to start the setup. And niggas have no patience. And it's always the last minute motherfuckers.
These and then have the nerve to get indignant.
Yeah, these would be the same motherfuckers, right? We're closed on Thanksgiving, so like we close at 10 o'clock at night. These would be the motherfuckers that come in the store at 9:59 expecting us to have a frozen turkey. It doesn't fail. I'm being called all types of motherfuckers. One person, the prototypical asshole, you know, dreads. He's sagging skinny jeans. He got skinny jeans on, but he's sagging them. Got tattoos on his face, want to get violent. Like, the sister is working as fast as she can while being safe. Well, y'all should have more motherfuckers. I'm like, I apologize. And then they pull this like, I used to be a store manager. I doubt you as a store manager with tattoos on your face, nigga. Like, come on.
Oh my God. Even if he was, then he would know. He would know. Usually you can tell somebody know they stuff by how they respond to situations.
Look, like me, I've been in retail all my life. You know, this has been my my primary occupation besides the military. And maybe because I have a lot of empathy for fellow retail workers, and especially those who are in retail management like myself. If I go to an establishment and I feel it's not worth my while, I will leave and go somewhere else. But if I'm going to decide to stay, I'm going to be patient. And people have no patience. And it's kind of apropos that, you know, your title, fatigue, because I am really fatigued. And hold on, let me take my camera off for a moment. To alleviate this fatigue, I'm going to pour me some Johnny Walker Black Label Squid Game edition.
Y'all make sure y'all make that check out to. Well, we'll talk about that later.
Yes.
Well, you want to get paid for promotions around here.
Salute.
Salute.
Salute to you in the chat.
I'm drinking Bali. It's Wonder Water. Zambia Bing Cherry. Not bad. Anyway.
Wait, I'm getting my uncle on. I got my Black and Mild. Although I don't got the cognac, I got the whiskey. I just need my LeBron James jersey. Uncle Lulu.
Uncle Lulu.
Yeah.
Always got $20. Y'all go get y'all some ice cream. Get out of my face. Oh my God. No, which brings us to the situation. And this is where you know, sometimes like when I was doing my Embraceability channel, like I would be like having migraines. I'd be having migraines after doing the show because I'm documenting. All I was doing was documenting street crime. You know what I'm saying? I'm just documenting street crime. I mean, Baltimore especially. You remember that when I had the Embrace Villainy channel?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, the things going on in Baltimore, things going on in San Francisco, Chicago was just the wild, wild west.
Minnesota.
Yeah. Even down here in Atlanta. New York especially. And then the migrants came in.
What's up, Art New Style?
Oh, what's up, Art? You want to come up? You want to come up? Hit a one. Lewis, send him the link. You want to come up? When you look at, oh, you about to say something?
No, I gotta copy and paste it. Hold on.
All right. Send it through the email, please.
All right.
When you look at everything that had been going on under the Biden administration, especially the past 2 years, where they defunded the police, they didn't actually like have a defund. Put it to you like this: they did it very sneakily and underhandedly by taking away. They stripped the police of their funding, and this is how they did it. The number one crime that police respond to the most is what they consider to be petty theft. All right. Mainly by teenagers or homeless people or whatnot, you know, things of that nature.
Or fiends.
Right. Drug addicts.
They have it.
Yeah. So they figure, well, if you just let them off, you know, you decriminalize what could be an arrestable offense concerning theft. Or if they do get arrested because bail is racist, you know, a bill directly, a phrase like that is aimed directly at, you know, mainly black people. You can say black and brown all you want to, but when they say that, when the liberals say that, they're mainly talking about us. Bail is racist. So cashless bail, you get arrested, you in and out within an hour, if even that long. You know, it takes however long it takes them to process you and give you a ticket or a summons or whatever, a floating summons. Hey, just look out in the mail for a card, you know, to appear to court. You're free to go. And you just keep racking them up and racking them up and racking them up to the point where it was funny. Mosh was like, damn, dude, how come all your videos about black crime? Why don't you do some more about white crime? I was like, I mean, I'm only showing you what the media is showing you. I'm trying to tell y'all something, but okay. So I found one, a good one, juicy one. Rich white woman out in California, living in a $1.2 million home, set up a whole network of stolen goods, stolen merchandise, makeup, jewelry, etc., handbags, all of this stuff. They busted her whole ring. She was the ringleader. Below her, she had 5 girls, you know, Asians, white, black, whatever. She had 5 of them. They were a mixture of women. And what they would do, they would hire young black teenagers to go out and raid these high-end stores. Y'all remember that? The flash mobs that would go in and they were starting to rob these high-end stores and whatnot, and department stores. What the hell is a young black boy gonna do with 20 Gucci purses? You know what I'm saying? Sell them to who? He don't know nobody like that. He's 16. No, they was sending the stuff. She was the fence. The stuff you brought in, the more you brought in, the more you got paid out. And then she would ship, the girls would ship the stuff to the chick out in California who was selling the shit on eBay. Tiffany Henyard with them bingo giveaways, stainless steel refrigerators going for $1,700 at Sears, 70-inch big screen TVs. Then there's footage of black people ravaging a train car in Chicago.
Okay. Can I say something quick?
Sure.
You brought up the TVs. Just to give y'all out here a word of advice. You know how if you take an Apple product and you steal it, and once it hits the internet, it could be tracked? That's what your new TVs are now, because they all Wi-Fi. And it pings out. So if you one of them people, I used to be back in the day, hopefully the statute of limitations have expired. But if you one of the customers of things that accidentally fall off of a truck, I best advise that you don't take no electronic goods, especially TVs and things of that ilk. Because once that bad boy hit that Wi-Fi, they know where that TV is at.
The serial number.
Mm-hmm.
Serial number. Like, yeah, wasn't this part of the serial number series that came up missing? Like, yeah, no wonder it's beeping red. I mean, you're living in Orwellian times. You can't get away with nothing. Ooh, it's gonna be a hot summer. You can't get away with nothing. So the talk is black fatigue. And what I witnessed over the past couple of years was mayors, district attorneys, special counsels, assistant DAs, all types of department heads just racking up felonies. I mean, look at Jane Tao out there in Oakland, or is it San Francisco? San Francisco.
The Asian lady?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trump ain't had nothing to do with that. She got indicted under Biden. They raided her house. The chick out in up in Massachusetts, the one that was passing off the money in the bathroom with her brother and her sister when she hired them illegally, and then come to find out she had stole more taxpayer money. The FBI came and got her 6 a.m. Tiffany Henyard may be out of office, but the FBI is breathing down her neck. And not the Biden FBI that was really just for show. They locking up Democrats. They locking up judges. Harboring terrorists. Trespassing. Oh, by the way, with that case with your mayor, for those that don't know, I mean, I know y'all probably heard that he got arrested, but the thing about it was that, I mean, that's a detention facility. You just don't barge your way in there They have to get clearance from upstairs. Just because you're a congressman and you are allowed to patrol the area, yes, with the fire marshal, yes, but that's a detention facility. You don't just barge your way up in there. It's like going into a prison. The warden has to open the gate, not the guard. It's up to the warden. This is a high security area. You don't just walk up in here with your nuts swinging, trying to put on a show like you was gonna catch something. So they barged the gate. The mayor had already been in the facility. They had asked him to leave several times because he was just looking too hard to try to find something to get him on. Because if you watch the interview that he gave when he was unarrested, when they let him out, he couldn't find anything wrong with the inside of the facility. Remember that his whole gripe was building permits. Like, dude, this is Tom Homan. Tom Homan, that dude be reciting law like he's a damn book. You think he's not doing everything by the book? He don't want y'all getting in his way at all. That's why he's fully pressing charges. They came and got that judge, not that day, but days later. The one up in Wisconsin. They arrested her days later. She said, I know a white lawyer in the Bay, and she said the Asians were leading those crime rings and sending those stolen goods to Korea. I can believe it. Chip, not even the chip, for putting the electronic vehicles. Black folks are usually the tool. We're usually cheap and easy to buy. Yeah. What's up, Chaos Rain? Well, see, this is what I'm getting at. So when they opened the door to send another transport through, after they finally got him to start to leaving the premises, they opened the gate. And that's when you saw everybody bum rush the gate. Why is an old woman and a middle-aged black chick bum rushing the gate? The gate of a secure facility, a secure government facility. Why are you doing that? You making threats and stuff? You lucky you didn't get tased. And then to have this idiot come out here and act like him being arrested for trespassing was a great injustice. The black chick screaming, "Who you putting your hands on? You gonna pay. You gonna pay. Don't you know who I am?" You know, throwing her literal and figurative weight around. And then the old woman, she could have had a heart attack, caught up all in the middle of that scrum. Acting like they was in the right. Like, man, whoo. If that's not the epitome of black stupidity in office, then I don't know what is. Can you give me a better recent example?
No.
You got
that was the most recent, the one with Mayor Ras Baraka.
Yeah. The son of a Marxist.
And I sent that to you the other day.
Yeah. The son of a Marxist. You breaking your back. A rapist, drug addict, drug dealing, murdering illegals. Because you're trying to gum up Trump's process. This is not your fight, bro. Say what you will about Pam Bondi because of the Epstein situation. I mean, again, it's chess, not checkers with that situation. Yeah, they put out the redacted list, but the real list, the unredacted ones, been out for what, 6-7 years. Everybody's already got it, you know, back when it was hot. If you got it, you got it. Some people threw theirs away, some didn't. At any rate, that's a delicate situation right there. But you do that to make people sweat. You do that to make people sweat. And then to come to find out that they found the files. Somebody was supposed to have shredded those files, the ones they found in New York.
What was those files pertaining to?
The Epstein files.
Okay.
They found them in the basement of a government building. Do you understand? Somebody was supposed to have destroyed those files. They just never got around to it. The job was too big. I mean, plus it helps that Kash Patel is FBI. You understand? He was already an inside man. He just got the promotion, that's all. So he knows where the bodies are buried. He knows where to look. I think Puff not snitching is a smart thing. Whatever happened to that star witness, we do not know. We do not know.
What's up, Chance?
Oh, what's up, Chance? But I mean, there's some real life drama playing out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they got the files now. They got the files now. Plus they have the videotapes. Epstein's and Puffy's. Oh my God. You know what that means, right?
What?
I know I'm getting a little off track, but I'm just looking at it from a political aspect. That's checkmate. That's checkmate. The Epstein files are bigger, you know. The Epstein files are much bigger because that was politicians, news anchormen, you know, captains of industry. That's where the money went. Hollywood went to Puffy, you know, that rap stuff. He controlled, I guess if this was a gangster situation, he controlled the blacks and Latinos and the, you know, the Hollywood degenerates that think that they're on our level, not realizing we signed their checks. Like, you're just an employee to us. Remember how you got here, Susie? Man, he is sitting on checkmate. At any rate, sorry. Let's set that aside.
What's up, Sick Diggity?
What's up, Sick? Once they pretty much have gotten away, the path cleared for the criminal illegals. Because they're winning these appeals, and the Supreme Court has decided to step in and let these people know, hey, look, they voting on whether or not these judges just can just block an executive order like that. Like, this is ridiculous, because we're just going to overturn it. You know what I'm saying, on appeal. So why are you doing this? You don't have the you're out of your wheelhouse. So they're voting on whether or not they're going to give them a smackdown and be like, hey, look, if you have a grievance with what he's doing, you come see us. You don't just issue an order. This is ridiculous. We see what you're doing. This is, judicial malfeasance. It's ridiculous. Once that's done, once those works are done, they're done gumming up the works. One of the things that President Trump did, he talked to business owners, both big and small, and he found out that their biggest problem was crime, most specifically by young black teenagers. So I'm thinking, right as soon as because Elon is leaving Doge, he's leaving the government to go back to running Tesla. Because they like seriously trying to power play him, knowing damn well they can't vote him out because they need his insight. It's like Steve Jobs with Apple. We know how well that went, right? At any rate, once he's done, that's when Trump is going to turn his attention to the states. And one of the first things he's really going to do is hire police officers, because he's going to get tough on crime, which means he's going to go back to the pre-2020 laws. That's why the worst thing you can do is stand in front of a judge during the Trump administration, because he was not soft on crime, like at all. He let some folks free, he did that in his last administration. He let a lot of folks free. Matter of fact, one chick, black chick, he set free. He put her over, what did he put her over, Lewis? The parole board or something like that?
I'm not even sure. I'll be lying if I say something.
But it was something where, she decided whether or not people were unjustly incarcerated or not. She worked on early release. She was head of the early release program or something like that. The black chick that he freed from prison. Apparently she impressed him. You can't be no dummy working for that dude. I don't care what people say. Them people are sharp as a tack outside of Pete Hegseth, who act like he can't answer a straight question. Everybody else, they cut to the chase. We watch the press conferences. Do it sound like they be joking?
Nope.
Yeah, they're straight and to the point. And they are all on message. Yeah, they're gonna get tough on crime. They're gonna get tough on crime, which means that a lot of these get out of jail free cards because bail is racist. Yeah, those cards are going to come due. They're going to pay the penalty for that. People that are already facing types of murder charges or whatnot, that thought that they would get their charges reduced. Nope, you can forget about that. You forget about that. And they're going to cut the budget. They're going to audit these states. Texas is already doing an audit. But they're going to audit these states. They're going to cut the wasteful spending. And I'm telling you right now, they're going to get back in the business of building prisons again. You understand what I'm saying? They're going to get back in the business of building prisons again.
Buy your Geo stock.
because it's going to be too much. But more than likely, you know, like I said, if you're under 18, I'm putting you in the you're going to junior ROTC. You're going to boot camp. We're going to teach you some discipline, because we know what the problem is. Like, you lack discipline, you lack structure, you lack education, proper education. It's up to you to get your mind right. And once you get free and you're over 18, you don't come back. Don't come back. There won't be any second chances. These folks are not playing. They about to lock this stuff down. When he sat up there, I mean, look at the maneuver. Look at the geopolitical maneuver, all the way down to the street view. So you impose fair tariffs on the rest of the world, all right? Because China is getting ready to cave. Once China cave, everybody else is gonna fall into place. You know, UK made their deal. You saw El Salvador was up here to, you know, they did a handshake deal. Sweden did a handshake deal. Who else came to the White House to do a handshake deal? It was a couple of countries, you know, they came to do a handshake deal. I mean, they weren't like big countries, but they were big enough, and they came to do handshake deals. That's why El Salvador Drake was at the White House, you know, talking about some, you know, that Garcia dude, like, yo, I'm not giving him back. What you talking about? It was a terrorist. Once these deals are in place, the United States will start making money through tariffs. You already have thousands of companies that are moving here to the United States. Last I checked, it was over 1,000. But you have a lot of corporations that are moving their factories here to the United States, which they have to build from the ground up, which will give American construction workers jobs. And then you'll have, you know, the unskilled labor working both upstairs and downstairs, mixed in with the skilled laborers, you know, the factory jobs and whatnot. All of that stuff are coming back. Factory, manufacturing, all of that stuff, especially the car industry. Car industry came back big time. And that was the stuff that sent your kids off to college with one job. You know what I'm saying? That's what those jobs were. So if he gets the tariff set the way that he wants them set, then by next year, he would have eliminated the IRS. It would be the ERS, because we would be taking in so much money that not only will we be able to pay off the debt, but the surplus will be fucking amazing. Fucking amazing. Because it's not just, you know, meeting the right tariff price, but also in the deal, they have to sell our products in their country. That was the biggest thing that was killing us on the tariffs, was that they wasn't allowing us to sell our merchandise in their countries. India being the biggest offender. All right, they only took like 3% and sold none of our goods. You know, they was collecting 97% off of us, and we was collecting 3%. Like, what the hell? That's why JD Vance went to India to go talk to their prime minister or whatever, and they came away with a handshake deal. They just got to work out the paperwork, but the guy agreed to work on the tariffs. That's why this whole situation with India and what was it, Turkey, Pakistan, yeah, that ended real quick. Trump sent Marco Rubio and the Secretary of Treasury go talk to them like, yo, hey, stop. Y'all chill the hell out. We don't do that. Not under
Yeah, and
this presidency.
also India is a vital supplier of a lot of food, like rice and everything.
Yeah.
Or if Pakistan and India start lobbing over nukes, that could do a major hit in the world food supply, because India sends rice all over the world. So
that's what India was getting ready to attack. They was getting ready to attack one of their nuclear defense bases where they had a missile. India was getting ready to take it out, and that's when they did the whole ceasefire. Like, stop, like, no, like, because if you'd have done that, then they'd have pushed the button on you. Because
that's why China sent ships out, because Turkey had sent ships to back up Pakistan. So if India would have lobbed a nuke, they would try to shut it down. And China sent out ships likewise to protect India.
Yeah. Be like, hold on. Like, y'all chill out. Like, what is y'all fighting over? What is this? Like that. I mean, they got
right in their backyard.
Real fast. Yeah.
And that's right in their backyard. So that would have, if they were to trade nuclear bombs, India and Pakistan's right there by China. So
ooh, that got real serious real fast. I mean, even Iran and Israel don't flare up fast like that. Ooh. And he had some Indian reporter mad as hell. Who does Trump think he is? He don't tell us what to do. Blah, 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 blah. Like, dude, like, do you not understand? Your ass would be burned to ash right now.
well, I think they will want to be burnt to ash because they don't have very powerful nukes. They have nukes that's considered tactical, but the effects will still be devastating. And wherever those missiles land, it'll be a lot of suffering from radiation poison. So, burnt to ash would be a blessing.
Yeah, because Trump is not trying to have no wars. Let's just be honest. Let's be honest. Him getting Zelensky to sign that mineral deal with him, that was a Trump card on Russia. So now Russia has to come to the table and talk. You don't talk to Zelensky now. He's out of the picture. You sit down and you talk with me. Let's work out a deal. Because, I mean, that's what it is. But he wants Russia to completely leave Ukraine. Like, don't worry. You're going to get your... I mean, I hear the coded language. Don't worry. You're going to get your cut of the money. But you need to give back the occupied territory because you know it shouldn't have got this far.
And
it shouldn't have got this far.
Depending on how well Zelensky cooperates, dictates how long he's actually going to live.
You know what? I don't think he has a say.
Yeah.
Because once he signed over those mineral rights with Trump, I mean, he pretty much signed over control. He literally signed over control. Because without the U.S. protecting you, you do understand nobody can protect you except for us. So we're going to get our cut of the money, and you are not to interfere with this. Do you understand, little man? Or we can just leave you to your own devices.
Like, don't you still want to play the piano with your wee-wee?
And dance in your high heel boots?
Yeah, in your latex underwear. We showed the videos.
Yeah, good Lord. Little Tinkerbell. Oh, wow. Anyway. Yeah, Trump ain't trying to have no wars. So getting back to how it affects us. The number one thing he's trying to do is trying to eliminate poverty. You understand? Because the only way you eliminate dangerous crime, you know, I'm not saying that murder will never go away, but if you really want to eliminate rapes, murder, robbery, carjacking, you know, crimes of poverty and desperation, you have to eliminate poverty. You understand? So,
and that's sociology 101.
Right. So, and this is, and you know, for Trump to be a Republican, remember he started out as a Democrat. With the tariffs, you eliminate the IRS, not completely. They wouldn't let him, because understand, you know, these oligarchs that Bernie Sanders keep complaining about, nigga, they sign your check, all right? You ain't saying nothing You sitting up here hollering about oligarchs while you and AOC are literally jet setting across the country at $17,000 an hour.
Yeah, and the IRS is a baby of the creature from Jekyll Island.
Yeah. Like, man, come on, stop. You're ridiculous. Neither one of you have a shot. You're just, Bernie Sanders is just reviving his civil rights memories. We're gonna fight the man, the oligarchs. You know, trying to sound like the smartest nigga in the room. And AOC is his damn cheerleader. Oh my God, don't get me started on her running around here jumping up and down on stage daring Tom Homan to come after her. Well, come after me. Come after you. I'm not scared of you. You know, she reminds me of when the theater kids get into it with like the dance club or the cheerleader girls. And she's over in the dark corner with the band geeks and the theater geeks, and she's yelling across the cafeteria at Shaniqua. Knowing damn well she gonna get her ass kicked at 3 o'clock. That's who AOC remind me of. Oh my God. She's still scared that Pam Bondi gonna press charges on her for multiple crimes she's committed.
From bartender to millionaire.
The now screeching harpy with a questionable reputation in ethics while in Congress. She had the illegal that was working for her that self-deported, which makes me laugh because, you know, for her to be jumping up and down on stage screaming she ain't scared of Tom Homan. When the story broke that she had an illegal working in her office and she knew he was illegal because she was paying him, you know, she was paying him. So, of course, if you check his social security number, it don't register back to his name. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, you know, here, if the bank lets you cash it, the bank lets you cash it. Whatever. So, she called herself trying to sneak in through the back door. There was a reporter who knew the nooks and crannies of that place, and he was right there around the corner waiting for her. So she snuck in through the back door. He had his phone, showed her sneaking in through the back door. So he pulled the phone back. Then she came around the corner. Congressman AOC, what is this about the illegal that self-deported that was working for you? Man, she went running from that dude so fast. She was, and she wasn't wearing heels. Oh, she'd have left him in the dust. But she was trying to run so fast up them stairs in them heels. You're harassing me. You're harassing me. I mean, she was leaving her security guard in the dust. It was like her, the reporter, and the security guard trying to keep up while he was asking her about that illegal. But you know, she's so tough, and she's the presidential nominee, I guess. Oh Lord, damn near in shambles. Sorry, set that aside. When they eliminate taxes for people that, at first it was 150K, who make less than 150K, then they moved it up to less than 200K. What that did was that freed up a lot of money for a lot of people that they would consider to be like low-level blue-collar workers. You know, low-level and blue-collar workers. How about that? They're not all the same. You know what I mean? People who have to work fast food, and then there's people that are blue-collar workers that bring home a good living. You know, be it a garbage man or a truck driver or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I just want to be clear to avoid arguments. But it puts more money in the blue collar worker's pocket by not taxing him to death. Things made here in America, the tariffs will not affect you. They will not affect you unless you want to spend money on a pricey item that you could probably get from a different company here in America at a cheaper cost. It's up to you. What you do with your money is your business. You want to be a fry cook, spending your $460 check on a $400 Gucci belt, you go right ahead.
Hey.
What?
I gotta be flossy now.
I know. You go right ahead. It's gonna be jobs aplenty. Ask people in Mississippi and Alabama and whatnot, Indiana. Ask Snowman. In other industries, they hiring like crazy. These other corporations, they're gonna be hiring like crazy because they don't want to pay the tariffs. They're gonna avoid the tariffs. So now you've got a lot of blue collar and white collar jobs. You know, you got to look out for the women folk. So, you know, it's going to be like it used to be. The men in the warehouse, the women in the office space. Maybe a couple of guys that, you know, they ain't built for the warehouse. Lord knows you can't have an all-female staff. Ooh, Lord, the cat fights.
So it'll be a bunch of some Uncle Marys working there.
Yeah, oh my God. You got to have that work balance, but because you know it's an ecosystem. At any rate, you know what I'm saying? People gonna be able to afford the rent. They'll be able to afford to buy a house. The lumber will be cheaper. The prices will go down. But here's the trick bag, and I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming when they audit these states. A lot of people that are collecting welfare benefits, they're probably going to do it in this order first. They're probably going to institute mandatory DNA testing first. So that way you make sure you got the right person as the father of your child. No more of this, because they do understand. They also couple with that, because they did this in Tennessee. Coupled with you, let's say you put down somebody that you know is not the father of your child as the child, and then they take a DNA test and come to find out you lied. They consider that paternity fraud. You're going to jail for that. They're not playing.
And it's becoming a national security issue where. And you could think the manosphere for this, the word has got out, and with all these extreme examples that we put out, and it's affecting the normal population, people are not getting married. One, you got the women now that because of feminism that is so fucking toxic, and we see constantly either is our favorite celebrities or we know people, our friends or relatives, that is getting brought through the ringer through divorce. And I know 2 people that fell effect to paternity fraud, and men are not getting married. And if men are not getting married, you're not having stable children being brought up in society. And until prior to Trump getting reelected, the military had problems like enlisting people, and married men are the ones that buy homes, they buy the extravagant items. A lot of industries that are tied to marriage and weddings either went out of business or they downsized drastically. And it's people that have families likely to join the military. So all around, this is becoming a national security issue. And plus, people that are born in single homes are most likely to commit crimes and not go to college. So this thing has an effect all around in this country.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, you're not going to. Okay, I remember we used to talk about trying to get chicks to come to the table to negotiate. Us just saying it is not. That was never going to happen. It takes legislation in order for that to happen, because understand that as long as they felt they could get a free ride off of the government plus you, but I mean, for the average commoner, the free ride was the government, be it food stamps, be it Section 8, be it welfare. What was the thing with the babysitter, Title 22 or whatever? As long as they didn't try to make nothing of themselves, they could get those benefits. I can't begin to tell you how many girls when I was in high school that got knocked up that was on government assistance. How you on government assistance at 16, 17 years old? Because you got a kid. No daddy at home. Got a mama though, but no daddy at home. That's breeding poverty. You understand? That's breeding poverty. And for a lot of girls, they saw that as a way out. Because a lot of these girls.
What's up, Jess? And what do poverty breeds? Crime.
Yeah. What's up, Jess? Yeah, because understand, a lot of these girls, they were hopping in and out of grown men's cars. And as one girl openly finally admitted, she was like, hey, look, like, yeah, like my boyfriend, I think she said her boyfriend was like 28, 29 years old. She was 15. And I mean, she wasn't 15 telling the story, but she was saying when she was 15, she had, she was dating a grown man. Yeah, because he was buying her things that, her mother couldn't afford or even bother to look up from whatever she was doing to get her. Like, he was taking care of me. Like, he's taking care of my needs. Whatever I needed for school or whatnot, he took care of it. They're coming from these households. And this has been going on since what, the 70s, 80s? Because these girls wanted to get out of these, they wanted to get out from up under their mothers.
And it's their way of survival, escaping poverty.
Yeah, a Section 8 apartment, put some food stamps, whatever. on welfare, you go to school. For those that, did it the hard way, going to nursing school. That's why they talk about nurses. Going to nursing school, because at least you can do that and still keep your benefits until you start making money. You understand? So, plus you have some of these girls, they're career students. I dated a chick. She's 31 years old. She was still in school because she didn't want to pay back the loan. And she had the perfect system. She would borrow the money, not touch it. And then when she got her taxes back, she would pay it just to make sure that, everything was straight, because she would take her tax money and pay her car note for the year. She lived with her mother, who lived with her grandmother. You understand? Her mother stayed with her mother. They all stayed with her grandmother. So she wasn't paying no rent. So she paid her car note for the year. And then she paid back the student loan, put the money back, and then borrow it again. And then she living off her tax money, but the student loan money was just in case she needed emergency money. But she had been in nursing school since I met her when she was like 20. She was 31 when we were dating, still in school. I mean, these stories ain't no joke. I wonder if she's still doing that. At any rate, no, people like that are cheating the system. It's like, more than likely, I mean, if you're going to be smart about it, you need to change the marriage laws to where if it's a divorce, you literally leave with what you came in with, and any property bought jointly, where both of y'all names is on it, there's no, somebody either buying somebody out or you're selling it. And you split the proceeds. But no, you don't get half his pension. You don't get, 4 of his 6 houses or anything like that. No more of this high-end prostitution shit. Child support, mandatory, 20% of your gross income. That's across the board. No more living off of a man's finances to where he can't survive. That's ridiculous. That's why he passed that law, I think back in January, where if you're paying child support, you can file the child on your taxes. So really it's up to the mother whether or not she wants you to pay child support or not. Because if you don't pay child support, she doesn't receive any child support. She can file the child on her taxes. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, where it's made fair and is not destroying the man.
Exactly. You don't get the double dip.
And I think for the most part, if it was done correctly, men would not have a problem with divorce. And what you have right now is a lot of men out here, they're just being traumatized by what they see what's happening to other people getting raked through the coals.
And they still doing it.
Yeah. And really, the only people that's benefiting are these divorce lawyers and the government, because Yeah, you think you're gonna get all this money for child support, but the government gets most of that money for administrative fees and all that, and that alone is a scam. And they need to revamp that whole system right there with the distribution of child support.
Yeah, that's why I say 20%.
No, where if you get $300 taken out of your check hypothetically, and the mother, just say the child is actually receiving like 180 because the other 120 has went to administrative fees and all that crap.
No, you gotta take. You know what? You gotta take that out of there. It should be an automated system, specifically wired through the child support office. Where it's pretty much not like how they automatically take out your taxes, right?
Yeah.
They automatically take out, the whatever, your 20%, 10% per check. They take out 10% per check, and it's automatically digitized onto a child support card that she should already have with maybe whatever percent, no higher than what Cash App or Venmo takes out for a transfer. It should be no more than that. It should be able to, with everything going on, with them trying to find these dudes that are the real father. Pay your child support. They're gonna make some money just off of the digital transfer. That would be a smarter system, don't you think?
Yeah.
A nice, friendly, digitized system. 2025. Why the hell am I still filing my stuff with a clerk? You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yeah, like why are we wasting taxpayer money? Doing paper.
Is at the point now? Do you know who celebrates more when people get married?
Divorce lawyers?
Yep. Because they know there's a 50% chance that marriage is going to fail.
I guess it depends on the culture. But, whatever. No, but I'm just letting y'all know, like that law has been passed by Trump. Tennessee passed the bill with the if I'm not mistaken, but I know it was on the docket with the mandatory DNA testing at birth and the paternity test fraud, like that. I remember they did that. They need to work on the child support and the divorce laws. Once they get that knocked out, then I can see why they're auditing these states when they start kicking people off the welfare rolls, because I really get the feeling that they're going to make welfare and Section 8, those two specifically, are going to be for the elderly and the disabled, because the Social Security check, sometimes it's just not enough. All right. So the elderly and the disabled, be it physically or mentally, I think they'll be able to easily qualify.
Yo, Bay.
Yeah.
We'll have to step away for a few minutes. I'll be back.
Go ahead, handle that. Yeah, so you're going to watch a lot of people get kicked off these rolls. I mean, they already are cutting off people's food stamps early in the year. I know y'all saw that TikTok video with that chick that with no teeth, the white chick, talking about how she was getting all these $13,000 a month in food stamps and whatnot, and she was driving this car and that car, just bragging. And next thing you know, she making a video talking about how they cut her stuff off, kicked her off welfare, sent her a bill. They sent her a bill. They wanted their money back. That's happened to quite a few chicks because they was flossing on TikTok. I mean, the beauty of an Orwellian society. But yeah, they kicking people off. Let them find out you able-bodied. I mean, they'll probably let you keep the food stamps if you sitting up there with a couple of kids. You know, maybe they'll work with you. But they're going to tell you right now, like, look, you need to find your children's fathers because we're not going to be supporting you like that. This is like a limited time basis. You need to find a job. You need to find your children's fathers. You need to set up some type of child support situation because you're not, welfare is not forever for you. I would say put a term limit on it. Like you got 2 years. Starting from today, you got 2 years. And then you're off. With jobs coming back, with them cutting taxes for what they would consider to be blue collar and low collar workers. And of course, them getting tough on crime. Yeah, more than likely, you're going to see the prison industrial complex come back. I mean, I know they emptied a lot of prisons, but that don't mean nothing. They can easily refill them. They can build some more. They're gonna have tons of money. Have trillions of dollars in money. They're gonna, oh my God. Trump wants crime to be a thing of the past. If you're not working, you better be self-sufficient. Because if you out here committing crimes, you're going to jail. You're getting locked up. He is not playing. I mean, people call him a dictator, and I'm like, y'all better be lucky he's a benevolent dictator. Like, he is on some serious Black Dynamite cleaning up the streets type of shit. If you look at the pattern. But this whole black fatigue thing, the way they gonna set it, all of these little outbursts and crash outs that people are having, mainly Democrat, especially black. Yeah, I get the feeling that that type of behavior will not be tolerated. Twerking will not be tolerated. I mean, goddamn, you got a girl that got ran over by somebody she was taunting. She was riding in the same car with. Y'all didn't hear that story? Pink Book, Pink Book Lessons did the story where the girl, she was in the car with, I guess, her friends. And the girl that was driving, apparently the story was them two didn't really get along. So when they stopped at the light, the girl got out of the car, went to the front of the car, and started twerking on all floors. I think she had like a cup in her hand or something. But she twerking in front of the car to taunt the driver. So the chick ran her over. She gone. Yeah, she ran her over. Then you had another chick. She was twerking on top of an SUV. This is like, you know, I guess days apart or whatever. She was twerking on top of an SUV. SUV made a left. She fell off the top of the SUV and right into the oncoming path of a fire truck that ran her clean the hell over, like with all the wheels, front and back. And the fire truck is zipping because it was on its way to a fire. But they stopped, you know, rendered aid, waited for an ambulance, but she was gone with DOA. You got them twerking at Lululemon. I mean, I'm not going to say it's going to be a prisonable offense, but I really do think they're probably going to start issuing fines for obscenity. And, you know, you can call it Project 2025 all you want to, but understand you're not going to talk on a microphone your way into people behaving themselves out in public. Legislation is going to have to change people's behavior out in public, especially in an Orwellian society. Possibly indecency fines, who knows? With all this crashing out, you know, creating a public disturbance, that's an arrestable offense. Watch when that starts happening, and then black folks gonna be talking about some racism. Because they arrested you for crashing out. Those sometimes are some of the best police videos, because then the cops pull out the taser because you can't control yourself. You're throwing a tantrum as a grown-ass man, a grown-ass woman. Like, you're literally trying to fight the cops while handcuffed from behind. You're jumping out of your seat and jumping in his face, screaming obscenities and racial slurs, daring this man to hit you so that way you can cry victim, because you're getting arrested for stealing, because to you, getting arrested for stealing is racist. That was the theme of the past 2 years. Really 4, but it really didn't pick up steam till the past 2. Getting arrested for committing crimes is racist. You got the Tiffany Hingers, the Jasmine Crockett's, the AOCs, the Ilhan Omars, the Brandon Johnsons, the Brandon Scotts, the New Jersey mayor. At least Eric Adams came to his goddamn senses. Who else? You got the mayor down there in LA, Cantrell, can't forget her. You got Fannie Willis. You've got Letitia James. All of these people are bad examples, bad black examples in government. And that's just in government. I mean, imagine what people are dealing with in their daily lives. Like, it's fitting a pattern. Like, the pattern recognition is ridiculous, because you know you film everything, even your own violent assaults on other people. You film it and you post it online. Sometimes you're live when you're doing these things. Isn't that right, Johnny Somali? Then you wonder why you're looking at years in prison. Yeah, I think they're done with that. I think people are fed up. They're fed up. This whole case about the so-called, we was playing the knock knock ditch, ding dong ditch or whatever. That's a bald-faced lie. At 3 o'clock in the morning, didn't that happen on a weekday? School is still in, right? You out at 3 o'clock in the morning prowling around somebody's door and they shot you in the ass, you deserved it. That's why you don't play games like Ding Dong Ditch. I saw a video, somebody did that. Kids walking down the street, they went and the kid kicked the cops. It was a cop whose door he kicked. He kicked their front door. It was on ring cam. He kicked it so hard, from the back side, it was almost like he was trying to kick the door in. He kicked it that hard. Bam! And it took off running. And then later on down the road, the cops caught up with, turned out to be not, I think they weren't the kids, or they were some of the kids that were with them, they had nothing to do with it. But in the midst of it, they caught the kid that did kick the door, the cop, because the cop saw it on his ring cam and he called in an alert because as far as he was concerned, his house was under attack. So when he caught the kid confessed, first they was trying to, it was funny, but not funny. They were trying to pin it on the black kid. Black kid was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I just walked in the house. Because they cornered everybody in front of the black dude's house. He was like, I ain't had nothing to do with it. But then the cop whose door that he kicked, he pulled up on the scene. Keep in mind, they had all the teenagers sequestered off in little corners, trying to figure out what's going on. He went right up to the kid that kicked his door and body slammed his ass. Boom, hard, on the grass / pavement. Cuffed him. Took him to the car. The kid was talking shit. I'm gonna sue. I'm gonna call my lawyer. Cop sat him in the car. Kid told him, fuck you. That cop punched him in his fucking face. Cracked him in his face. Shoved him in the car, shut the door. No, he didn't get fired. He did get reprimanded and demoted. You gotta understand, people tired of fucking around. That old man that shot that 16-year-old that was out at 10 o'clock at night talking about some, remember y'all remember that case, the wrong door? Kid knocked on the wrong door and the old man shot him because he thought he was being robbed. And the first question I asked was, why was the little kids not at home when the street lights came on? Why is you sending your 16-year-old out to go get his two little siblings under the age of 10? Why is he going to go pick them up at 10 o'clock at night? Them kids should have been home. That old man died before he went to trial on that one. Touch of good news, though. I know y'all saw that the Tyre Nichols case, the cops, they weren't found guilty, or actually the state dropped the charges. They dropped the murder charges on those three cops. One of them turned state's evidence. but they dropped the charges on those 3 guys as far as murder. But the byline was, and I don't know if I put this in my video, was that they were already found guilty in federal court. They were already found guilty of murder in federal court. They haven't been sentenced yet. They let the state go ahead with their prosecution. All right. So they just following. So like, yo, we found them guilty. State, y'all got something y'all going to say. So the state took them to court. They found them guilty on some, but then they dropped the charges on the murder conviction. The murder charges. It doesn't mean they're walking free. It means that when the state drops the federal charges, when they find them guilty, well, when they sentence them, because they already found them guilty, when they sentence them, they have to serve out the maximum, almost their whole sentence. I think 85% of your sentence has to be served before you're even eligible for parole. So the state was just getting out of the federal government's way. So that way there would be no chance for a state law that might get them an early release, early probation or anything, early parole or anything like that. No, you have to go to federal court for that. Because you were federally convicted, not state. There will be no trump card for you. So relax. Those dudes are they're not gonna see the light of day outside of prison walls for a very long time. They're gonna die in prison. What they did to that boy, they still haven't released the body cam audio. I can only imagine the terror and the screams and the ferocity of which that attack was going on. Like, because them cops was talking big shit while they was beating on that boy, especially Demetrius Haley. He was the one that caused the most damage, while the other two was holding him up. So relax. They going to jail. Ain't nobody getting off of nothing. And just think, that was 4 black officers that did that to that black man. Still don't even know why. We don't even know if the rumor about not the love affair, but the fat chick that worked at his job. We don't know if that was Demetrius Haley's baby mama or girlfriend or anything like that. They never did release those details, or else people would have been speaking about it. They just said something about it, but they haven't really released the details of the trials yet. Yeah, they playing this one tight to the vest. Yeah, but crime isn't the only thing that retailers really also had a problem with. They also had a problem with customer service and customers in general, but mainly customer service. Because I'm sure y'all have seen like countless videos where employees are freaking out at the customers or giving the customers 2-for-1. Attitude versus attitude, instead of de-escalating and keeping it professional, even to the point where they're getting into fights. I get it when somebody come across that counter on you, then once somebody come across that counter, you do what you got to do. I'm not gonna fire you for protecting yourself. If anything, I'll give you a raise. Like, I'm not gonna fire you for defending yourself, like, because I expect you to defend yourself in my restaurant. Don't you dare, nobody lay their hands on one of mine. And I saw the videotape and you gave her a 2-piece combo. It made grapes. You crushed grapes, stirring grapes into wine on her forehead. Yeah, yeah, here's a $1 raise. Employee of the Month award. Dude, trust me. Hard to keep employees nowadays. No, but customer service is in the toilet. The customers are in the toilet. They got to do something. They got to do something. What good is opening up a store if your employees are stealing? Like Anton told a story about Anton Daniels. He was talking about this restaurant. He said he was bringing in food, like the food truck would come in and like whole cases of like chicken and fish and whatnot would find their way into the employees' trunks. Like whole cases. Like that's ridiculous. Reenacting the theft, the original crime laws for 2020, for COVID. Start punishing people for theft. Seriously. Trust me, crime will go down real fast. Real fast. Rash outbursts, crash outs in public. You start arresting people for public disturbance, it'll go down real fast. Like I said, black people start screaming and crying racism. But I mean, if you can't act civilized in what they call a civilized society, well, then they'll just put you in timeout. You can't stop shaking your ass in public, in the middle of the street, or in stores or whatnot. We'll just fine you. We'll just fine you. And if you don't pay the fine, well, then we got plenty of workhouses. You can work it off. You either work it off or you can spend a week in jail. Take your pick. Pay the fine or a week in jail. Take your pick. Don't make us come looking for you. Come looking for you. That's a month. That's a month. Go for your court date. Pay your fine, or it's a month in jail. You got to legislate this stuff out, but you got to see it for what it is. It's black fatigue. People are just tired. Nothing is racist because everything is racist. What Trump did through executive order, he took away everybody's specialness. While trans folks were sitting up here screaming, "Oh, you're killing us!" Like how? Yeah, it took away all your rights and privileges of transitioning children. He took away your quote unquote privilege that you thought was a right. He took away your privilege of going into women's bathrooms and spaces. He took away your privilege of teaching your ideology in school. with Democratic white women, he took away DEI. You can no longer use black people and other people of color as your cannon fodder to help fund your lifestyle, because you as a white woman qualify as a double minority. Still going off of the affirmative action in the workplace theory, but that was the crazy part about what the Democrats did. When Democrats, Biden eliminated affirmative action, I mean, I don't know why they did it. I really don't know why they did it, but it saved Trump the trouble of having to do it, because it no longer benefited black people the way that it was supposed to have. Just like DEI was never about benefiting black people. The Democrats told you that you were special because of DEI and affirmative action, but they benefited off of it the most. The white female benefited off of it the most. Black women and their gay male counterparts, just like white women and their gay male counterparts, they benefited the most off of programs that were designed specifically for us. All of that is now gone. Nobody's special anymore. Nobody is special anymore, except for the elderly, the handicapped, and the veterans. You're all equal under the law. You will be judged by the content of your character, not by your skin color. So you can cry racism all you want when you get arrested for throwing a goddamn tantrum at an Arby's all you want to. Nobody's listening. Nobody's coming to help you. Just like those stupid ass kids or people mixed in with students that called themselves trying to have that protest up in Washington, where they locked themselves in the library and the police showed up and it was like, yo, you want out? Everybody, we need to see a student ID. Student ID. You can hide your face all you want to, but we're going to know who you are. We're going to get a copy of all your IDs. And then we're going to turn it over to the State Department once we find out, who's on here on a foreign visa, a student visa from another country. We're going to find out. And we're going to get your ass to right the fuck up out of here. Like, nowhere on this planet are you allowed as a foreigner to protest that country's government on their soil. You are crazy. They will throw you. In the Philippines, they throw you in prison for that. Be 2 years before you see a judge. That Vitali guy, they got arrested for showing his natural Russian hole out there in the Philippines and got arrested. Like, he's looking at 60 years in prison. They got him in a holding tank, a holding facility that they call the Gulag. Like, there's nowhere for you to sleep, sit, or nothing. Toilet situation is terrible. I think they gave him like $1.68 a day allowance to buy food. Yeah, his court date is set for 2 years from now. He's in there. There's no embassy that can reach out and help him. Like, dude, that's a Filipino situation. We saw the tape. You broke plenty of laws. You're assaulting security guards and police officers and, stealing, threatening to rob a woman if she doesn't stop and talk to you. You tried to steal a security guard's bike. You even stole a mannequin head with a shade. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yes, right. You did try to take a security guard's gun, didn't you? Yeah, and you expect us to help you? Help you do what? We can send you a pillow, maybe a blanket. We can't do nothing for you, bro. That's the Philippine situation, and their president is not playing. Yeah, but nowhere on this earth can you go and protest another country's government on their soil and think that they're not going to do nothing about it. This ain't got nothing to do with free speech. This is about national security. Yeah, but they squashed that protest real quick. They squashed the protest real quick. These folks is not playing. This is going to be by the time his 4 years is up, if he make it the whole 4 years, but even if he don't, I'm telling you, J.D. Vance is waiting in the wings. He's a young version of Trump. He's Trump in his 40s with more political polish. You think he's gonna be different? He's just gonna find a more efficient way of getting it done to where there are no roadblocks. Y'all sitting up here trying to hold on to the Democratic Party so desperately, and I'm like, dude, like, you don't get it. Like, the Democratic Party was never your friend. And holding on to them is not giving you any power because they are powerless. They are powerless. When that man came in and the first thing he did was sink Doge on USAID, he killed a lot of their money. He cut a lot of their Democratic slush funding off. That's what Doge did. Doge went through every department and did an audit and balanced the budget and traced all that money to whoever's bank account it went to. It's the digital age. You can't cover your tracks like that. It has to go somewhere. It'll pop up somewhere. The digital age. What are their holdings? What is Jasmine Crockett's holding? What's in her name? Yes, give me everything. Yes, and all companies, whatever. If you were in a taco stand as a child, I need the bank account numbers. They comb through your shit with a fine-tooth comb. Every penny will have to be accounted for. Go ahead and have an irregularity if you want to, of a huge deposit that mysteriously popped up out of nowhere. Go ahead. IRS will have you sitting in a small room with a big window. Big mirrored window. So, would you like to talk about where this 20K came from? Oh, shoot. A lot of Democrats are going down this summer. Watch. They already getting arrested for being stupid. Wait till they start getting arrested on theft of taxpayer funds or misappropriation, however you want to call it. Wait till that start happening. That party is dead. That party is dead. I mean, it's dead now. But when he cut off the money and this whole situation where they're trying to protect the illegals, it's not really the MS-13 people that they're trying to protect per se. Although do understand that the Biden administration specifically asked for Tren de Lagra and MS-13 members. Send all your crazies here. A lot of countries emptied their prisons and their insane asylums and sent them here. We covered this years ago. Black Light Revelation, when he was doing his undocumented road, that's all he was talking about. Where these people were coming from. All these rapists and murderers. Personally, I think the Democrats are trying to really block the deportations of them because they need them to cause chaos and havoc. That was the whole point of Joe Biden asking, or his administration asking specifically for those people, because they needed them to cause chaos and mayhem here in the United States. Meanwhile, they needed the Joe Schmo illegal to come here, get these garbage social security numbers of dead people. So therefore, they're somehow allowed to vote without really being a citizen. That's why they had to they killed all those social security numbers over the age of 120, because millions of those people were illegals with social security numbers, dead people, social security numbers. So now that they can't work, because without a social security number, you're not cashing no checks in America. Not like that. It's needed for your ID. And if your ID is dead, you're not, they scan your ID, it's dead. You get pulled over with the ID, it's dead. No car insurance payments are going through anything. All your stuff is dead. That's why he did the self-deportation thing with the app. They buy your ticket home and give you $1,000 when you get there. Because with the hardworking average Joe Schmo illegal, your seats in Congress are based on your people, not so much as, district. So let's say you have one congressman for 50,000 people. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not being accurate. Suddenly now you have 100,000 people. So now you've gained an extra seat. See what I'm saying? So the more you get per number, the more seats you get to represent your districts in Congress. So therefore, with all of these illegals and all of these Democratic areas, specifically black, the more Democrats you get. So therefore, you outnumber the Republicans in House seating. So now you can block anything that he does. This is what they're trying to do for the midterms. Trump has already crippled them economically, and he's destroyed their media machine, their propaganda news like CNN and MSNBC. You see it when I play it in the intro. All he does is cut them down. All he does is cut them down. And the reason why he does press conferences all the time was so he can tell people exactly what he's up to. And people call him a liar because he didn't lower gas prices and eggs on day one. He didn't end the war with Russia on day one. He lied. I'm like, man, shut the fuck up. You act like you don't know hyperbole when you hear it. At any rate, and you see he's moving fast too. He's done a lot in his first 100 days. He's trying to get the numbers down on the deportations. So therefore, they won't gain. The Democrats won't gain any congressional seats. So therefore, Republicans will stay in power. Plus, you have a lot of districts that are, they sick and tired because they have illegals in their area, and they're turning red. Like California, when they do their primaries, you see a lot of areas that are, they say, looking to turn red. So they're saying that there might be a chance that in the next presidential election, California will flip to red because they're losing so many counties. Trust me, the fires and all of that stuff that's been going on this year with California. If you're a Republican and you ran for governor under Trump's campaign, you might actually win California. It is such a mess. All you gotta do is just promise to clean it up and spend the money wisely and cut through the red tape. Like, no more bureaucracy. That'll be my campaign slogan. No more bureaucracy. California, we get things done. At any rate, yeah, promise to clean up the streets of crimes and drugs and homeless. Yeah. Cut the bureaucracy to bring down gas prices and everything. Work on legislation to bring down the cost of living. Yeah, if you're a Republican, that's your campaign, that's your strategy. We're going to do an audit, a state audit, balance the budget. There'll be more money to finish projects on time, as promised. Yeah. Tackle crime and poverty. Yeah. You might win California. Democrats are in that bad of a shape. But in the midst of him, if he can't get the numbers down, because understand Trump has projected numbers for Tom Homan to help get deported. And some days, Homan is on schedule, some days he's not. That's why if you notice, he's jumped to larger scale operations. Because Trump needs to get the number of illegals down to a certain number in order to keep those congressional seats. And if Democrats get in the way, as you can see, they're getting arrested. They're getting charges fully pressed on them. Some with probably enhanced charges. More than likely, he'll probably start pressing charges on Democrats in areas where it's vital that their opponent takes those seats. Like Jasmine Crockett, for instance. Are you back?
Yeah.
Yeah. Take Jasmine Crockett, for instance. She's got Sheldon Daniels breathing down her neck, and that brother's a Republican. He's a I guess you could say he's a millennial or a newfound or Trump. He's a Trump Republican, put it like that. He's a Trump Republican. And he's the one that had the investigation launched on her concerning AgBlue and how they were stealing money from people's credit cards and debit cards. Because AgBlue doesn't need the 3-digit security number on your card in order to charge it. Yeah, so they were reported to the FCC and whatnot, and they were under investigation, and a lot of their senior board members, they jumped ship. So something happened with the first investigation, but now with Sheldon Daniels and a few other people cracking down on Act Blue, the FBI has picked up the case. So Jasmine Crockett, she was given 60 days to respond to her involvement with Act Blue. Because remember, she said that she raised more money than anybody in her district. And then she told some cockamamie story about how she got these $1 million homes and $9 million in her bank account, talking about some settlement or whatever. Like, bitch, that don't make no sense. You were an ambulance chaser. What type of settlement had you walk away with $2 million plus homes with $9 million in your bank account when you were an ambulance chaser with a little strip mall office? Whew. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, because when she was asked that question, normally she's all, bigger brash, and change that B to an N. But she saw bigger brash running her mouth. But when Charlamagne asked that question about her money, suddenly now she all of a sudden got church mouse, sweet little jazzy
energy.
Yeah. All of a sudden the professionalism came out of her. The dainty, demure Jasmine Crockett that had to go through law school and whatnot and be on interviews. Yes, I'm little Jasmine Crockett, and I hope to be a senator or a congressman because I want to be a lawyer. So you had that Jasmine coming out of her.
So you're saying accountability pulled it out of her.
Yeah. You had to be real careful with what she had to say right there. So she had to be real calculative with what she was saying, so she didn't incriminate herself. But yeah, she's under investigation. Somebody like that, where Trump is calling you low IQ in an interview, where even the reporter laughed. He didn't mean to. She just did. I mean, Trump's a funny guy. Called her low IQ. You think that dude isn't paying attention to you?
Well, the things where people fail to forget about Trump, he was a TV star for 10 years plus. So he know how to move the crowd.
Yeah.
And manipulate the audience.
You're fired. That was a catchphrase for a long time. No, but yeah, you got a lot of Democrats, especially AOC, setting themselves up for failure. You're setting Ilhan Omar. You're setting yourselves up for failure because you don't know how to shut the fuck up. You know what we used to say that? You feeling yourself too much?
Keep your mouth shut.
Mouth shut, head down. Do your damn job. Stop getting all sassy for the cameras while you in Congress. Stop making stupid points. Yeah.
You're not in it for yourself. You're in it for your constituents.
I mean, the chick is an embarrassment. This is the shit she pulled. She said, tell me who did this, a trans person or Trump? Who's deporting Americans? And the black chick who was really getting grilled on trans people in sports, which is now banned. See, Trump. She kept asking stupid questions like that, comparing Trump's legislative acts as told by CNN or a typical Democrat versus somebody being trans. Like, what? This is what you're here to do? This is what you're here to do, to waste 5 minutes of the people's time being an idiot. We thought AOC was bad. They need to hurry up. They need to hurry up and get her up out of there. She is a bad representation for black females. She is a bad representation for black females, American black females. I mean, people are really asking, like, who elected her? Who elected her? Like, can we see some of her campaign speeches? Like, what? How did she get in here? They looking at Ilhan Omar. How did she get in here? They know how AOC got in, but damn, like, her district has to vote her out. But with the things that she's been caught doing now, there might be a chance. And Stephen A. Smith will be at the top of the ticket. You know what I'm saying? Huh?
That would be a sad day.
I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm gonna yell and shout.
Hey, maybe Skip would be his vice president.
Oh, Lord. Bring the band back together, huh? Even get old Shannon back in there.
Nice compromise.
Probably tell Shannon, like, you should have offered her $2 million. What's up, Snowman? I'm sorry, I'm not even facing the screen. You say crypto was going to moon or pass through the moon. All right, so how does Jasmine purchase 3 large houses on a $200K salary? It's through that ActBlue money. It's on the ActBlue money. Yeah, so there's a good chance that she'll probably be indicted before July, if not August. You got Bonnie Willis. She's looking to be indicted. Letitia James, I think they're talking about finding her like $300 million or $50 million, and she has to step down. You know, one of the two. I mean, you can call it a revenge tour all you want to, but you shouldn't have tried to kill him. You should have never done that. You put him on a warpath. And you can call it a revenge tour all you want to. Nobody's listening. If anything, the consensus, American public is saying that's what you get. You called him a Nazi and a fascist. You tried to throw him in jail. You trumped up charges against him. Charges that you're actually guilty of, by the way. Stole tens of millions of taxpayer dollars. Wasted billions of not trillions of taxpayer dollars, feeding your family through NGOs and whatnot. Dude, Democratic Party come September is not going to look the same as it looks right now. And they can say that he's trying to be a dictator and take over and all this stuff, but it's like, but he's not the one that made you stick your hand in the cookie jar when mama wasn't looking. You did that. Like, you're literally guilty of these crimes. We have all of the evidence right here. All he's doing is just charging you with the crime. These aren't trumped up charges. These are for real. Is that not your signature? Because it's not your bank account. But then you explain how you got these 2-3 houses. You going on $40,000 spent on a vacation. You know, explain it to us. How you got all this money? Where'd it come from? You were just a lowly bartender before you got in here. Now suddenly you got $30 million sitting in the bank account. How did that happen?
If that's the case, I should be acting ditzy and get elected.
Shit, they throw your ass in jail. Oh my God. You know these black mayors don't get away with shit. Ain't that right, Kwame? Ain't that right, Marion?
Kilpatrick.
Yeah. Kwame Kilpatrick, Marion Barry. You know, Tiffany Henyard next. Shoot. Brandon Johnson, they coming after you, buddy. They coming after you. Oh Lord. You don't get away with nothing. Yeah, this Democratic Party gonna look completely different come September if my predictions are right. But what have I been saying? If I'm any other party, especially like the Green Party, now is your chance to seize power. Now's your chance to seize power. Start talking with Republicans, find out where the jobs are going to be, where they're going to start, digging. Talk with the main person, see if you can be their HR department, just what are your requirements. We'll do the hiring. We'll have you fully stocked and staffed and trained by the time you're ready to go. And then as the Green Party, you go out into the neighborhoods and you just start posting the help wanted signs. Have yourself a nice little job fair. Courtesy of the Green Party. Vote green. Vote green in the midterms. Alice Walker. Little housewife from Westerville. Vote green. That's how you get up in there. That's how you get your seats. Get people what they need. Not people that sitting up here fighting to defend illegals that are deemed terrorists because of the violent acts they've committed on the American public, which is why they're here. You need them to be disruptors. They're not even really worried about us, like the young black teenager situation that's going on. I mean, Trump had, when he first ran for office, he had threatened to send the National Guard to Chicago to clean up Chicago. And people thought it was racist. But I can guarantee you right now, if he said it again, you wouldn't hear a lot of that. Not from the people of Chicago. You got black folks that have flipped back to Republican because of him. You see that shit?
What?
At the town hall meetings that Brandon Johnson, mayor of Chicago, be holding.
No.
Yeah. His constituents, or what used to be is, anyway, they're now wearing MAGA stuff. They're wearing MAGA gear, the black folks, when they go to these meetings. You know you failed as a black mayor when you've turned your own people back to their original party. Trust me, when they start locking up these Democrats, ain't nobody gonna care. They don't care right now. Y'all mayor got arrested. Don't nobody care. If anything, everybody like, good. You should have arrested all three of them. You should have arrested everybody that bum rushed that fence. That was a high security risk. What the hell are you doing? Pepper spray should have been deployed. There should have been some cuffing and some stuffing. Just to send a message. You do not bum rush into a high security prison. I don't care who the hell you are.
Yo, Bay.
Crashing out?
Yeah, my Achilles is killing me.
It's fine. Hopefully I got my point across. Gonna be a hot summer, fellas. Black fatigue is gonna be real. All right.
You don't have the cards. You're buried there. Your people are dying. You're running low on soldiers. Listen, you're running low on soldiers.
1, 2, 3!
All right, bye. Thanks for the fun.